Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Podcast. My name is Isaac, and if you're new here, then welcome. I talk with many different people about many different things on this show, from Star Wars to filmmaking to recent news to sports, and to so much more. This is episode 20 of All Things Podcast, and I just want to thank each and one of you guys and girls for being here today, and for clicking onto my podcast and listening to an episode. Whether you have loved it or hated it, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for making my hobby become a reality and get some engagement, and I hope to continue to grow and meet more of my fans. If you weren't aware, All Things Podcast is an interactive podcast, and we are climbing our way to be the number one interactive podcast on the planet. So, what does that mean for you? Well, that means my team and I will always try to make content that you guys and girls want to see. You can make suggestions by commenting on this episode or DMing us over on our socials at All Things Podcast on all social medias, or by clicking the links in the description below, which will take you to all of our social media accounts. So what am I going to be talking about today? Well, I think I'm going to be talking about all things State of Origin Game 1 and Game 2. Now, if you aren't from Queensland or New South Wales, Australia, then you probably do not care for this. If so, then you can jump on out of here, or jump to this timestamp on the screen, which will take you to the part of my review of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. The timestamp will also be in the description for all yous listening to the audio-only version. Without further ado, let's get into this episode of All Things Podcast. So the State of Origin 2022 season is now underway, with only one more game left in 2022. Game 1 was played on June 8, exactly a month ago from when I am recording this podcast episode, and the mighty Maroons defeated the New South Wales Blues 16-10. Only one converted try difference. It was a hell of a game. Also, if you haven't caught on to it yet, I am a Maroons fan, as I am from Queensland. If any Blues fans want to come into my podcast, shoot me a DM on one of my socials. I would be totally down to do a comedic banter episode talking with a fan of Maroon's rival team, New South Wales Blues, of course. Now that would be some fun. I'm totally down for it, so shoot me a DM, all linked down below. Billy Slater is back coaching the Maroons, his former Origin side. And obviously, Brad Fittler is of course back, again coaching the New South Wales Blues. When the horn went for half-time, New South Wales were down 4-6. What a great start off for Queensland. It was quite literally fast and furious. Queensland can count themselves lucky to be ahead after offering little in the attack. But they did control the midfield for large chunks of the half. New South Wales showed flashes, but most of their combinations were angled deep, failing to grasp the game line. At this point, the second half was anybody's game. Billy Slater was very pleased with his first half as an Origin coach. Singling out newbies, Brad Fittler wasn't panicking, but keen to see his side take possession further up the field this half. Then the full-time whistle went. Queensland were Game 1 winners, Queensland 16, New South Wales 10. Both sides showed up to the game and put up a fight, unlike Queensland in Game 2. Now we'll get to that straight after the commercial break. Are you a lost podcaster? Do you not know how to have online guests on your show and record both your video and your guest's video in good quality? Well, thanks to StreamYards, they do it all for you. You set up your recording or stream, invite your guests using a link, and boom, they're in. It's all in full HD quality and gives you smooth recordings. Or are you a live podcast? Don't worry, StreamYards can still do it all for you. Get up to $10 off, or get $10 in credit using the link in the description of this episode. Thanks again to StreamYards for sponsoring this podcast episode. Game 2, Queensland go right down into the ground, 44-12 to the Blues. Come on, Queensland. May I ask, how the hell do you lose that badly? I swear State of Origin is rigged. There is never a season where a side wins all 3 games. Last season, Blues won Game 1 and Game 2, but then they lose Game 3. Yeah, it's got to be rigged. I don't know. But anyway, at halftime it was close, only 2 points separating the sides. So far, it had been a very, very good game. It was great to watch. Very tough game so far. Very great to watch. New South Wales controlled the opening 20 minutes without looking overly threatening. The Queensland bench again refreshed things up, and the Maroons hit the front courtesy of a couple of tries. The second of which was a beauty, but they couldn't withstand a long sustained spell of pressure into the shadow of half-time. And not only that, they lost Kafusi to the bin. Advantage New South Wales with 40 minutes remaining. The second half began with try after try after try. The full-time whistle blew. New South Wales 44, Queensland 12. A very powerful statement from the Blues. Origin heads to Game 3 in Brisbane very much alive. So Queensland now have the home advantage. But will they be strong enough to beat the Blues? We'll find out on Wednesday when Game 3 kicks off at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I think we, and when I say we, I mean Queensland, will bring it home and Billy will get through to everyone. Well, that's what I hope. Let's hope so at least. This 44-12 Game 2 in Perth. I don't know how we lost that badly. We won Game 1. Game 1. I definitely enjoyed Game 2 better. First half of Game 2 was very exciting. Second half, I'm watching it like this. Okay, New South Wales score. Okay. Then try after try after try. I'm like, nah, this is just stupid. Literally. I don't know how we lose 44-12, but it is what it is. We didn't score a single try in the second half. It is what it is. Let's bring it home for Game 3 in Brisbane. Obviously, Maroons now have the home advantage, but will it help them? Who knows? We'll find out on Wednesday. I can't wait. I'll be watching it at home. In the cold, it's bloody freezing here in Australia right now. Like, we have the most stupidest and weirdest weather. If you're not from Australia, in Australia, everyone thinks it's this hot, beautiful place. Bloody oath, it's hot. In summer, it's bloody ridiculous. Then June, July, August comes around. Winter time for us then. And it's freezing. Like, when I say freezing, I mean freezing. I don't know if it's because we're used to too much boiling heat, but man, in winter is it cold. Everyone else thinks, oh, Australia, oh, nice and warm place, let's go over there. They come here in July. It's freezing. So yeah, Game 3 Origin this Wednesday. It should be going. Or next Wednesday technically. Only a few more days, 5 days, and we'll be watching Game 3 of Origin, the decider. Should be a good game. I hope so at least. Hope so it's not a high scoring game. I hope it's really close, like 2 point or bloody golden point. It goes golden point and there's only a field goal between them. That would be very nice. But it is what it is, and we'll find out on Wednesday. Game 3 in Brisbane. Go the Maroons. Talking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Season 1. It's been about 2 weeks today since the Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 1 finale aired on Disney+. And I think we're over spoilers by now. I think everyone's seen it. If you haven't, please jump on out of here because I will be spoiling this show and talking about Season 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you guys do end up enjoying this video, please give it a like and share it with a friend, as that really does help YouTube push my video out to other people and puts it on the recommended feed. Also, if you didn't know this, if you're not a YouTube creator or didn't know this in general, YouTube push your video out onto the recommended by watch time. So what that means is if, say, my viewers watch 5 seconds of this video, YouTube aren't going to and it's a 10-minute video, then YouTube are not going to recommend this video to other people, and they're not going to put it on the recommended feed. But if people watch it all the way through, then they're going to recommend it. They're like, okay, this people like watching this, let's recommend it to other people. So if you could watch it all the way through, share it with a friend, and give it a like, it really does help me out as a creator. And yeah, let's get into this video. We'll be talking all things Kenobi. Let's get to it, guys. Thank you. So what did I think of Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 1? Well, I really enjoyed it. Now, I know there's mixed feelings about the show, but personally, I really did enjoy it. Now, although I know there were some goofy moments and very goofy writing and cinematography, overall, I did enjoy the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. It expanded Obi-Wan's Kenobi's character pretty well. Same with Darth Vader, and obviously expanded new characters, past characters, and up-and-coming characters. Let's talk about Reva, the third sister. Wasn't a huge fan of her. I wasn't... At the start, I was...
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I don't know if you guys heard that in the background, but so much stuff in my garage just fell over. I just cleaned that all up. I don't know what the hell. The ghost pushed it over.
Oh, scary! Oh, shiver my timbers! Shut up, man!
I don't know. What was I saying? The third sister, that's right. Reva, the third sister. At the start of the show, she was a fine character. I didn't have a problem. How they ended her character in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, I wasn't a fan of. Now, spoilers. Yeah, you already know there's going to be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen it, as I said, please click off or continue watching if you don't care. But they didn't kill her off. They just let her go on Tatooine. Obi-Wan said, I forgive you, and let her go. Knowing that Anakin is Vader, knowing that Anakin has two kids, Luke and Leia. It doesn't sit right with me that someone in the Star Wars galaxy knows this now, except Yoda, Bail, and Obi-Wan, obviously. And, yeah. It doesn't sit right with me. I believe they should have killed her off. I believe Obi-Wan should have killed her, or Vader should have killed her. How'd she survive the stab at the end of Episode 5? God only knows. How'd she make her way back to Tatooine? God only knows. I really don't know. They should have showed us that. That was one massive mistake in the writing. That was just... I just can't believe Disney writer, someone who works for Lucasfilm, made that mistake. She got stabbed twice, mind you, on when she was a child, when she was a youngling on Coruscant in the Jedi Temple by Anakin, and then again by Vader. She survives both, and then Qui-Gon. Now I get that Qui-Gon, he's like, okay, my time is up. I'm gonna extend into the Force now, which he does. But Reva, I don't know how she survived. Also, not including the Grand Inquisitor in the whole show, killing him off end of episode 2 and then coming back at the end of episode 5 and then barely seeing him in episode 6. He should have been the main Inquisitor. I believe Reva should have got as much screen time as the fifth brother did. Now, Reva, if she did get the same amount of screen time the fifth brother did, I believe they could have gone and made a show about her after Kenobi, if she would have survived, which she did, or before Kenobi, because we wouldn't have a problem with her. But now we're like, I don't know. They kind of have to expand on her character, but I don't really care.
Don't care, still don't care. I don't care, I don't care. What did you say? I don't care!
I'm really looking forward to Andor, 31st of August, less than 2 months. I believe it's going to be goated, and I can't wait to see what Lucasfilm brings us for Andor show. But back to Kenobi, just Reva. She was probably my only... Reva and the Grand Inquisitor, they were my only two problems. Grand Inquisitor, Rupert Friend, who played the Grand Inquisitor, did a phenomenal job, and I didn't... before the show, I thought the Grand Inquisitor was going to be not a very good character. Obviously, he wasn't the best character in the show because we barely saw him, but he played beautifully by Rupert Friend. Same with Moses Ingram, he played Reva. Nothing wrong with Moses Ingram, played Reva great. Rita was just wrote stupidly. And that's my opinion. Everyone has the right to their own opinion. If you loved the Reva character, good on you. I wish I could like her too, but I just don't. And that's my opinion. Everyone has their personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. But back to the overall show, I really did enjoy Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obviously, there were those moments, as I said, that weren't that good and were stupidly wrote. Overall, I give the show an 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5 out of 10, something like that. It wasn't a 10 out of 10 show, but it wasn't a crap show either. It wasn't a 5 out of 10. It wasn't a 10 out of 10. I believe, for my personal opinion, 8 out of 10. A lot of people are giving it 2 out of 10s, which I think is a bit far. I don't think it was a 2 out of 10. No way. But everyone has their right to their own opinion, as I said. Why I liked the show. Let's get to the good things that I loved. Obi-Wan vs. Vader in episode 6. Beautiful. Obi-Wan connects back with the Force. All his skills are back in him. He lifts all those rocks. shows how powerful he is, because he is very powerful. Obi-Wan Kenobi is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And obviously it also shows how powerful Vader's suit is when Obi-Wan's throwing the rocks at Vader. And it just bounces off him. That was sick. I loved how the writer for this show knew Vader's suit was indestructible. I'm glad they knew that. And obviously Obi-Wan slicing Vader's mask open. That was very, very cool. I loved it. Ahsoka did the left side, Obi-Wan did the right side or other way around. And Luke was the only one that could fully take off his mask. It's really beautiful. Very beautiful parallels. What am I saying?
Stupid.
But no, I really did enjoy this show. 8 out of 10, and I can't wait for up and coming shows this year. We obviously got that fun little Lego summer vacation. There'll be some fun. And then we got Andor 31st of August, 12 episodes. It's going to be amazing. I really hope so. And then obviously we got Tales of the Jedi, Bad Batch Season 2. I can't wait. And next few years for Star Wars is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for Star Wars to get back in cinemas. I really want a Star Wars movie to go back to cinemas and, you know, sit in the cinema and watch Star Wars on the big screen again. That's all I really want. But overall, Obi-Wan Kenobi, although there was lots of things I was very disappointed about. Overall, I think I did enjoy the show. Let me know what you guys did think. And if you agree with me, that's great. If you don't agree with me, tell me why. Tell me what you didn't like about it. I want to hear you guys' opinions and thoughts. This was my personal opinion. Everyone has a different opinion, but that's mine. Yeah, they had many new characters, you know, many old characters coming back. The person that played Leia, she was a phenomenal actress, such a good child actress, and she played Leia so good. They definitely casted her very, very well. But as I said, cinematography for me, I don't know what the hell went wrong with that. I don't know who they hired for that, but it just didn't feel like a Disney Lucasfilm. Like, it doesn't feel like something, you know, they have lots of money. It doesn't feel like something that they would do, but it is what it is. Overall, I enjoyed the show, and I loved the end, obviously, with Qui-Gon coming back. I don't feel the need for a season 2, because I feel like if they do a season 2, they might go off and make Obi-Wan go on another mission. Season 1 was the best ending ever, and I believe the next mission Obi-Wan goes on is when he's that old man in New Hope with Luke to the Death Star, faces Vader. That's the next time he faces Vader. That's the next time he leaves Tatooine. And I hope they keep it like that. I really, really do. You know, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan obviously go off now and they train together. Season 2, if we see that in Season 2, great. But I feel like they wouldn't do that in Season 2. Just maybe like 6 episodes again. Maybe 30 minutes each. Or maybe stories. I just don't want them to leave Tatooine. Maybe they could go do a Vader episode for one episode, kind of like what they did for Mando in the Book of Boba Fett. But don't let Obi-Wan leave Tatooine again. He doesn't need to now. Next time he leaves is A New Hope. I hope they keep it like that. I'd love to get a season 2 if it's just Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon telling stories and training. That would be very, very cool. Obviously, I'd love to see Liam Neeson back. Maybe season 2 could be a movie. I would love to see that. Kenobi was actually meant to be a trilogy, but obviously because Solo flopped at the box office, they're stepping away from films at the moment, and that's really disappointing. And a lot of people, Kathleen Kennedy in particular, says Solo flopped because there was no deep fake of Harrison Ford. I don't think so. It flopped because it was a bad movie. It was not a bad movie. It was a great movie. I personally really loved the movie. Nothing wrong with it. The actor that played Han, beautiful. Actor that played Lando, played him beautifully. I believe it flopped because The Last Jedi made fans step away from Star Wars and felt like Star Wars was just drifting off to somewhere bad. And I feel like all the OG fans of Star Wars were like, I'm not going to go see Solo. It's probably going to ruin the Han Solo character as well. Which it didn't, but I feel like The Last Jedi is the reason why Solo flopped. It gave Star Wars that bad name because a lot of people hated it, The Last Jedi. It's probably it's probably the Star Wars film in the whole franchise that is most divisive between fans. We have a group that love it, we have a group that hate it. It's about 50% each. That's why I think Solo flopped. That's my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a professional. I'm not a filmmaker yet. My dream is to become a filmmaker. I don't know. I don't know. But that's why I think it flopped. Not because it was a bad story. It was not a bad story. It was a great story. Not because there was no Harrison Ford deep fake. No, I don't think so. The guy that played Han looks exactly like young Harrison, basically. Kind of. I believe it flopped because of The Last Jedi. That's my opinion. And that's what I've got to say. I really hope we get some new Star Wars films. Anyway, guys, that's my review of Obi-Wan Kenobi. My current review on the Star Wars franchise as a whole. And what I'm looking forward to next in Star Wars. Andor, not long away. Obviously, Bad Batch as well. And Tales of the Jedi, looking forward to that one as well. And then obviously next year, Mando. Ahsoka, I can't wait for Ahsoka and Jedi Survivor video game. So much coming, and I can't wait. I want another movie. I hope so we get one. And obviously we got this bit off topic, but Cobra Kai Season 5 in September. I can't wait for that. Anyway, guys, this was my little chat on Obi-Wan Kenobi and Star Wars at the moment. Hope you guys did enjoy. And as I said at the start in the intro, I hope you guys do smash the like button if you enjoyed it, because it really helps me out as a creator, and I hope you all watched it all the way through without skipping anything, because it just helps my video get onto the recommended page of other people. And, you know, it shows YouTube that, people are watching this all the way through. Let's give it some more attention. So, yeah. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching today's All Things Podcast episode. I talked about State of Origin 2022 Game 1 and 2 and the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Let me know what you guys thought by DMing us on our socials, all linked below, or commenting on this episode. Thanks, everybody. My name's Isaac, and this is All Things Podcast, episode 20. Thanks again to our sponsor, StreamYard, linked down below to get $10 off your next order or plan, or to get $10 in credit. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next episode. Peace out, guys.